Hi, my name is Babylonia and I'm going to be doing a 35-minute video with Rosario. Rosario is a Hispanic female in her mid-50s with two grown children. It is evident from Rosario's case study that she experienced a traumatic and distressing upbringing with her parents that left her feeling isolated, lonely, and deeply anxious as a child, which followed her into her adulthood. It is possible that when Rosario met her husband, who showed her love and support for the first time in her life, that it fulfilled a fantasy that someone could save her and take care of her and love her unconditionally, the way her parents were not able to. It is clear that the unconscious abandonment by her parents and later her husband have left Rosario feeling worthless and hungry for love, while also scared to receive it for fear of being abandoned again. Rosario even fears that God has abandoned her and has transfer issues in which she believes I, the therapist, will abandon her. She uses isolation as a defense mechanism due to fear of rejection and could potentially be repressing her childhood as a defense. Our goals in therapy will be to improve her self-esteem, which is currently maladaptive, as evidenced by her withdrawal and emotional self-flagellation. It is likely that the deepest abandonment that has occurred within Rosario is her abandonment to herself. Hi, Rosario.
Hi.
What brings you in today?
Gosh, I just feel so sad and alone. I'm just going through a really tough time right now.
You're feeling sad and alone?
Yes.
That sounds really painful. Could you tell me more about that?
Yes, I am now divorced. I have a couple of kids, and they have now left the home. So it's just I don't know. It's recording. It's just me, and it's kind of the empty nest syndrome, or maybe it's not. I don't know, but I feel like I'm alone again, like I was in my childhood. Um, Very isolated. I didn't really have my parents there, and I yearned for that. And to have my husband leave because he left me for someone else, it really, really is taking a toll on me, and I feel alone again, and I don't know what to do.
That sounds so painful, Rosario. The fact that you feel so alone and isolated, and maybe are you feeling afraid?
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know of what. I couldn't even tell you. I don't know.
It's just this deep anxiety you have. Could you tell me more about your feelings of isolation and loneliness?
Mm, I don't know. It's hard to put into words. Um, I just feel like no one wants to be around me. And I understand if you didn't want to be here with me or help me, and if you can't, that's fine. But I just feel like I don't know what to do. Maybe people don't want to be around me, or maybe it's me, but I don't even know how to really convey what I'm feeling.
So, are you worried that I'm going to abandon you or reject you also?
A little bit. I feel like a lot of people in my life tend to do that.
Mm.
Yeah, which is hard.
I could feel how lonely that must be. How do you feel telling me that? How does it feel to say that out loud?
It's definitely not easy. It's really really it's hard. I was taught not to really talk about my feelings and to almost suppress them. So this is new. This is new for me.
Wow, well, I'm really grateful that you're sharing. This is a safe place for you to be able to open up. Um, so it sounds like you have this intense fear of other people rejecting you or abandoning you, and that's why you put a lid on your emotions.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know where it's coming from or what's stemming from, what exactly happened, but just growing up, I always felt like I was that one child that was just by themselves. Nobody else was around. Parents always worked, and then to have that now where kids are gone, husband is left, um, not interested in seeing anyone right now, and I don't know how they would accept me or if they would accept me. So,
Does it make you feel like you have no worth or value? Do you feel shame around that?
you know, I didn't really think about that. Maybe a little, a little. It's just so challenging to really tell you what I'm feeling. I just know that it's like a empty feeling.
Mm,
Very empty.
that emptiness. Could you describe the emptiness to me?
Yeah. Okay. It's like I'm in a black hole. Um, a black hole, and there's it's like a hole, and there's the walls I can't even grab to get out of. I'm just stuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like you're sinking and there's no life raft for you to hold on to. You just keep sinking into it.
Yeah. Nowhere to get out. No way.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have you here, and I don't want to waste your time, and like, because I don't even know how to put into words what I'm feeling or what I've gone through. So, yeah.
What do you feel towards me?
I feel like you're a good person. But this is new to me. This is a different type of environment, and I'm explaining to a stranger what happened in my life and why I'm sad, and I feel alone and emptiness.
So it's understandable that you would have this apprehension about being vulnerable with a stranger and not trust me right away. That's totally understandable. We could take this at your pace, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Also, I don't know if I mentioned that I was the only child, and now that everybody's gone, I don't know what to do. And I was in school. I was in college for a while. And then that's where I met my now ex-husband, and he was this, awesome businessman, and he was a go-getter. And then he did, we had a conversation, and he said he, wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom, and I said, okay. We have two kids, and then after we had our two kids, I guess he got bored, and he left for another woman, and now I'm just alone. I'm all alone. My kids are gone. I wish I would have completed school, but I didn't go that route.
So you feel alone. That same feeling of loneliness you felt as a child, you felt after your husband left you.
Yeah. And I also feel like I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
A devout Catholic. I go to church every Sunday, sometimes several times a week, just to, say my prayers. But I don't really associate with people in there too much. It's just hi and bye, and we'll say our prayers. But I also feel like at times, like, God abandoned me too. Maybe because of what I've done in the past.
Do you feel unworthy of God's love and attention? Sometimes. Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah. I don't know if he hears my prayers, and then I try to talk to him, but I feel like if he was listening to me, then I wouldn't be alone. So.
You sound really disappointed too.
Yeah. Because in my heart, I want to believe that he is there and he's listening to me and hearing me, but I don't know if that's the case.
It's almost like you have your guard up with everyone, like you're on the defense for, you don't want anyone, you're protecting yourself even from God.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. Definitely didn't think about it like that, but now that you mention that, like, that could be something that's happening.
Could you tell me more about your childhood? What was it like growing up for you?
Yeah, I'm the only child. I didn't really feel like I was loved by my parents. I felt like they were just too busy. But they worked full time to support me. So I understand that. I totally understand now that I'm an adult. As a kid, you just see it as a norm. You go through life, and you know, whenever you get to hang out with mom and dad, it's awesome, and you cherish those moments. But I feel like it was more times than I can remember that we weren't. We didn't really do much as a family.
Mm.
They always worked.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's where that feeling of abandonment started.
Hmm.
Do you?
Yeah, I could see that. I think so.
That sounds so painful to feel like the two people that are supposed to love you the most weren't there for you when you needed them as a vulnerable child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really wish they could have just maybe looked at work like, okay, my child comes first. Let's go here, even if it was to the beach, even if we walked around the block. Things like that to me. Now that I'm older, I wish it was more of that. Then maybe my marriage would have been better. I would have maybe known how to cope with things or deal with whatever life threw at me. I don't know.
You feel unprepared for life? Or
more unprepared for love, accepting of love from people.
Do you feel unlovable?
Yeah, I do at times. Yeah. I'm not saying people don't love me, because I know my kids do, but for my ex-husband to leave the way he did, no, I don't think so. And then my parents, yeah, maybe because I'm their daughter, they love me, but I don't know. I don't know if that was the type of love I was looking for. The affection, the accolades, the, come on, let's go, good job, or even if I was in sports and they're there just watching, that would have probably really made me feel better.
So going into the relationship with your husband, were you open to his love, or were you guarded as well? What was your relationship with your husband like?
Oh. At the beginning, it was great. We went everywhere together. He introduced me to so many different things in life in so many places, and we traveled and did things I've never done before, and it felt good because I was accepted, and at the time I felt loved. And to me, the way he was flourishing me with gifts and trips, I believe that was his way of showing love to me, and I cherish that. And so I wished I was like that when I was a child, but evidently it wasn't enough because he's not here.
So at the beginning of your relationship, it was exciting and you felt so connected, and it filled you, that empty feeling inside, with something positive for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Something I wanted and desired since I was a child finally happened to me as an adult, and then not anymore. I don't have that.
Yeah. How did you feel when you found out he cheated on you?
Oh, I was heartbroken. I was crushed. I was so devastated. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to tell my kids. I didn't even know how to get up in the morning sometimes. To be honest, there were a couple times that I just laid in the bed and didn't want to move. Didn't want to deal with reality.
The despair was agonizing.
Yeah, you could say that.
It was, did you feel depressed and alone again and abandoned?
Depressed, I don't know much about, but yeah, from what I hear, you're just kind of sad. Definitely that. I felt abandoned for sure, because I felt like at least he could have talked to me and told me what was going on. If something if he was bored of me, or if he, after the kids were here born, that he just wasn't feeling our marriage anymore and he wanted something different. Yeah, it would have hurt too, but to have the conversation beforehand would definitely, I think um, it would have looked different. I would hope, maybe.
Could you tell me more about how, did anything happen in your relationship that caused you guys to distance and you think led him to cheat? Not that it's an excuse, but were there fights, or was it unexpected? What happened in the middle of your relationship?
Um, I think it was typical marriage, conflict, which is you'll have disagreements here and there. And we had those. We argued. We try not to argue in front of the children, but we did have disagreements. I wish I would have handled them a little different, maybe more in positive way, more of a healthier way, and not so emotional. So
Was he emotionally available?
no,
No.
I don't believe he was. If he was, he wouldn't have left.
Help me to understand that.
He wasn't emotionally available. To be honest, I think it was because he worked a lot. And it could have been his upbringing, but I don't want to get too much into his life, but I do feel like work kept him from really feeling his emotions and understanding me and what I was going through. Especially having two kids, it's not easy, and they're very close in age. So that's not easy. And even though I'm at home and I'm expected to do these wifely duties, it was very challenging. There were times where I just wanted to go and be by myself and go for a walk and get away, but it didn't happen.
So you were distant for a while from your husband, even though at the beginning it was exciting, but then there was a lot of emotional distance.
Yeah. I think we're both distant from one another equally. So
you said you wanted to walk and have time to yourself. Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah. I just wanted to be outdoors, enjoy the air, and feel like I need to get away from the noise. It was just a lot going on, and recoup my thoughts, recoup my emotions, get away, just have time to myself. Never had time to myself unless the kids were asleep, but that didn't last long. And then husband would come home and he would want dinner ready, and he's tired, which I understand. And so that was my everyday life. My life was their life.
Sounds like there was part of you that chose him because he was exciting and he showed you love, but then part of you chose someone like your parents again, who was emotionally unavailable, who was maybe a workaholic. Sounds like you found someone just like your parents.
Possibly. I never thought about that. I will say that for sure, me not having that love as a child, I don't feel like I was getting, like, as a child, I simply felt the abandonment. I didn't feel like there was a lot of love, and then as an adult, I could see that. So I think the connection is definitely there. It just I never thought about it until you mentioned
it. Part of you in the relationship wanted to be taken care of, perhaps by your husband, the way you were never taken care of, and the other part of you kind of wanted to be on your own. So there was a conflict there within you.
Definitely was. I'm thinking about it. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard to accept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just I don't think I gave myself time to even think over these past days, weeks, and months. So
That sounds really hard.
mm-hmm.
You've been through a lot. I know it's hard for you to open up, but you're doing really amazing right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit about your faith?
Yes, I am Catholic. I go to church Sundays, but I'm also there during the week. And I feel like I'm going there just to try to wash away my sins and what I've done so that God can hear me and my prayers more. Mm-hmm. I've been Catholic since I was a kid, since I can remember. Mm-hmm. My parents were devout Catholics, and if you sinned, there were going to be consequences. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering also if those consequences have kind of caught up with me, and my prayers aren't being heard.
Sounds like you have this feeling of anxiety about your faith, that you're not secure in it, and that you have a lot of guilt about mm-hmm. your actions.
Yeah, I do. And I don't even know why I feel guilty. I'm not the one who cheated. He was the one who cheated. Mm-hmm. So why do I have to feel like it? But then again, my sins that I've, committed, that I've done, maybe that's why these things are happening. Maybe God is punishing me. Mm. Yeah.
Do you feel afraid of God?
Oh, yeah, we should be afraid of God. Mm. Definitely. I just wish he would hear me more. Mm.
So you feel like God isn't there for you either. This all-powerful being who's supposed to be there for you.
Yeah, I feel a bit abandoned. I feel like he just left me to fend for myself and to figure out these emotions and what I'm going through. And I don't know if it's going to get better. It doesn't seem like it. So right now I feel alone. So
I see a theme here. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that God has abandoned you, that your husband has abandoned you, and that your parents have abandoned you? Mm-hmm. And you feel all alone, mm-hmm. and that there's no one there for you.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
Crushed. I'm hurt. Sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's, I can't put into words what it is I'm feeling. Yeah, it's really tough.
You're really brave.
Thank you.
You know that?
No, I didn't know, but I really appreciate you seeing that in me, because I don't see that in myself.
To have all those feelings going on inside, mm-hmm. and yet wake up every day and face life, you're very brave.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. That helps. It helps me it makes me realize, I should say, that you see something in me that I don't see in myself yet. Mm-hmm. And that's something I struggle with, because I never really had my parents telling me, I'm proud of you, you are brave, or you are smart, or, you've gotten these grades, or you do well in sports, and, continue, or any of that, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you like to set the goal in here of improving your self-esteem?
Yeah.
We can work on that in our future sessions together and help you build your feelings of confidence so that you don't feel as abandoned in relationships, and you can bring forth your true self in relationships.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I think I definitely need that, because I don't have that. I don't think I have enough of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like you beat yourself up a lot and you're hard on yourself.
Yeah, I definitely am that. Mm-hmm. Not a good feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we can definitely work on that in here.
Good. That makes me feel better. It's tough. It's really challenging. I do want to know what exactly is depression. I don't know if I'm suffering from that or not, but it feels, from what I read, like I am.
Depression is when you have low feelings of low self-worth, or you overeat or you undereat, you're suicidal, you your body can't is like lethargic, it can't move, you feel sad all the time or guilty, you have negative thoughts. Do you have any of those?
Negative thoughts, sadness. I don't sleep well.
Oh yes, not sleeping well.
Trying to think of anything else. No suicidal thoughts. Yeah, just more of sadness and guilt.
Guilt.
Mm-hmm.
The guilt about your sins.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that in our religion, divorce is frowned upon. So that too. So.
Did you feel ashamed of that?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. 100%. I felt like our neighbors, family, especially family, they were going to judge and see us in a negative light, see me in a negative light. Like I'm not a good wife, I'm not a good mom, and now because of that, my husband left. So yeah.
Do you feel like I'm judging you?
No, not really, because you have a very calm demeanor about you that's very welcoming. But it's very hard to sit here and tell you how I feel.
I can imagine. You've never really opened up to anyone.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
You seem kind of withdrawn right now. How are you feeling right now?
It's hard. It's hard. This is tough. I haven't done therapy before, so to talk to a stranger about how I feel is it's very foreign to me. So yeah, but I understand if you don't want to work with me. I totally get it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So
I do want to work with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's your feelings of low self-esteem coming out, thinking that you're not worth someone's attention.
Yeah, I do feel that way. It's not a nice feeling either. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah. So, what are some things that you enjoy doing?
That's really hard to say because I don't really go anywhere anymore. But I will say that I do like to pick up a book sometimes and go to the library. Before I purchase a book, I'd rather go to the library because I have a respect for a library. I think it's a beautiful gem to have, for us to have in our community. So I go there, I'll look for certain books, the genre I like, and then I take it home and I read. I do like to do that. And now sometimes if I feel up to it, which is not all the time, I'll go for a walk. But I don't walk long, and I just feel this sadness, and then I walk and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just have to go home.
That sounds like it's very soothing for you.
Yeah. When I do get out, it is.
Yeah. That improves your feelings. That improves how you feel about yourself.
And a little bit. I don't know if it's 100%, but a little bit.
Okay, well, I think we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if you could let me know how this session went for you so far.
Very uncomfortable. Not because of you. You are awesome. I am just like I mentioned a couple times, it's hard to convey how I'm feeling, and telling a stranger how I feel makes me feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that feeling of being uncomfortable.
That's very understandable that you feel uncomfortable with a stranger you've never really opened up before. Is there anything you think I could improve that would help in our future sessions?
Continue to be kind. You do a good job at that. You're helping me, notice some things from my childhood that may be affecting me now that I didn't think about before.
Mm-hmm.
So that is helpful. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anything stand out to you today that you think you can take home with you today?
Just to I'm more. I'm not gonna say a whole lot yet because I'm still trying to figure out what I am, who I am, and why I'm here. But the way you express some things to me about the sense of abandonment and love, all of that is kind of has shown up now in my present life, and I think that's helpful to be aware of that because I wasn't before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think we can definitely work on your goal together of improving your self-esteem, and we'll be on our way. Thank you so much for all the work you did today.
Of course. Thank you.